Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho, and probably by the end of this video, there's gonna be about maybe 8 of you who are gonna mention the fact that my hair looks really, really fucking oily. Well, this is what I say to you. Moving on. This video is meant to portray the rather, I don't know how to put this, but rather closed-mindedness of people that I occasionally have to run into. One of them is me, but at the end of the day, I try to force myself to see things from at least a very impartial standpoint. But what I want to talk to you about is something that another bigger YouTuber had done a long time back when he was, a lot smaller. This YouTuber that I'm talking about or I'm referencing is named SSOHPKCs. You may know him. And for those guys who do know him, you may know that I take lots of references from him. Makes sense, right? The thing that he did back in the day was on his second channel, he would occasionally put up make videos about some very interesting comments. If I were to be frank, they were really fucking dumb comments. Complaining about, whatever he was doing, why he disagreed with what he was doing, and just make videos about them, pointing out how ridiculously stupid they were, and, that's basically it. just to show his subs how stupid some people can be. Eventually he had to stop it because, apparently it got to a point where someone was actually threatening to, report his channel, and he didn't want to take the risk, so he just stopped doing it, which, that's fine. Some people apparently can't handle being counter-criticized. But I'm gonna do something that kind of harkens back to what he did back in the day. I'm going to show you an example of when I was away on vacation. I was checking out my channel, checking YouTube comments and whatnot, and I think earlier on Monday or Tuesday, I forget exactly when it was, but I came across this gentleman. I would be recording my desktop, but for some reason Fraps isn't capturing my desktop. There's apparently another program that it's detecting, and I can't record my desktop. So I was like, fuck it. I don't know how to solve this, so I'll just use like a live webcam. Some of you guys may not care, some of you guys might prefer this, and most of you will complain about my fucking oily hair. I got a haircut today, so I don't know. Does that make sense? Not really. Do I care? No. So this gentleman by the name of Jakari Hanma, on my Micro Uzi review, states that 6 days ago, pricing of these pixels is sheer bullshit. $24.90 regular price for permanent use. That's a few dollars off a moderately old AAA game or pre-owned game. In comparison to other games like PS2, which sell weapons for permanent durations of $2 to $7. PS2 also doesn't start you off with a gun that is statistically garbage in comparison to other weapons. Keep an eye on how much money you spent on this game and total up at the end of the year. Was it really worth it? Now, this guy, he has a legitimate point. These weapons are severely overpriced for what they are. I agree totally. $25 for a permanent assault rifle or submachine gun is it's ridiculous. Let's face it. That's what you could. Like you said, you could probably buy a moderately old AAA title or something like that. You could get so much with $25. It's not even funny. And why the hell would you want to waste it on a fucking on a virtual item, right? Problem is, Combat Arms is a free-to-play game. Nexon needs some way to make money. And even though we can just sit back here and bitch all day about how badly overpriced these things are, it's Nexon. They're a company, they're a corporation. They can do whatever they want. They can... See, the thing is that some people don't understand just how valuable some people consider Combat Arms to be. We all know those NX4s. Sniff. Hi. And me too, but on a lower sense. There are people who value this game a lot, and Nexon knows that. So, their pricing they almost have a monopoly on this. You can think of it like that. And if you guys aren't familiar with monopolies, if you have a monopoly on something, you can charge however much you want, and you will basically have to force people to buy it. Because, well, where else will they get it? You know, there's no other game like Combat Arms. So where are they gonna go? They have to pay for what they want, or what Nexon puts in front of them. So, yeah, it may be highly priced for a lot of people's tastes, but we gotta deal with it. And if you don't want to pay for it, then don't pay for it. If you don't like Nexon's business model, I don't, then don't support them by not buying them. I want to get these reviews out for you guys. That's why I feel that it is worth it. It is worth my money to go out there and buy these things for you, so I can review them and make these videos for you guys, recommend them, just tell you guys whether or not it's really worth your own money to buy it. If you don't think that it's anywhere near your price range, don't fucking buy it. End of story. Okay? It's not that hard. And complaining on the internet is not gonna get you anywhere, because I'm still gonna buy these guns. I'm still gonna keep buying them for you guys. Okay? But my point is that at the start, this gentleman by the name of Jakari Hanma, gentlewoman, I don't know his gender, but we'll assume he's male. He's got a legitimate point. These are very, very expensive, and yes, they do quickly add up. Hell, I'm diamond grade. I'm sure some of you guys know what diamond grade means. Yeah, add it up. Sorry, add it up for me. And yes, I do think it's worth it, because, you know, my channel is, you know, kind of based on Combat Arms reviews and stuff. So yeah, I think it's worth it. So my comment to him was, 1, I don't really care about pricing, I'm used to it. 2, Nexon's be selling these things for preview sale for 20% on, which makes them marginally better, which they didn't do in the past. Usually they just put things up for permanent sale and they'd be, you know, $25 right off the bat. But nowadays, Nexon has, who knows what made them do this, but Nexon has been consistently putting out these preview sale weapons for, you know, cheaper. 20%. 20% is a considerable discount. But I'll just leave it at that. And 3, I buy these things so that you don't have to. So I don't see what you're complaining about other than about Nexon's horrible marketing strategy. That's what I said to his first comment. You know, I was like, you know, let him. If he wants to say something back about that, then we'll see what he says. So he sends me a message, not on a comment in the video, but message-wise. And he says 20% puts most of these weapons at $19. Good job, you saved $6. Are you slow? When exactly was it not my point that Nexon's marketing strategy is a load of shit? What you basically just said was, I'm used to overpriced bullshit when I could use my money on much better stuff. Okay. Perhaps I am a bit slow, you know? Oh yeah, $6, it's such a big amount, right? Oh yeah, I must be really stupid for, you know, thinking, oh, 20% is a lot, right? So, this guy is consistently, or it's insisting on his argument that Nexon is a horrible marketing company. And he's right. They're not very good. Other than the fact that they know that people can't complain, or even if we do, we can't do shit about it, because they're a company. They essentially have a monopoly on Combat Arms, so they can price whatever the hell they want on these guns. And yeah, this Jakari Hanma guy has a legit point. This is pretty overpriced, and you know, he doesn't understand why you will ever want to buy this crap. Problem is, think of this however way you will, I don't really see any other use for my money. Because I'm a simple guy, I don't buy a lot of stuff. Like I'm pretty frugal when it comes to money because, to be honest with you, I don't want a lot of stuff. If there's something I want, I'll buy it. But the list of things that I want to buy, unless I'm going to an anime convention or whatever, it's very small. I don't really have a use for my money because I'm in college and I want to kind of concentrate on my studies and whatnot. And I'm not into the whole consumerism that's going on in America, like all the clothes and shoes. And I'm not one of those people. So basically, I don't really care what you have to say about me spending my money on virtual items because I see it's worth it. You know, if I want to buy something that, even if it's just a virtual item, I'll buy it. Okay, it's my money. Stop telling me what to do with my own fucking money, bitch. My personal opinion aside, let's continue on with this. So we're assuming that I'm a very slow and dense person, and I am clearly not using my money very, very properly. So, hold on, let me go to my sent messages here. So I sent him in reply to this comment. So maybe you should start using your time more wisely than to use on someone who doesn't give a shit about your opinion no matter how much validity it may have. I do this for enjoyment and as a service to others like you who don't see the point of buying new weapons but are interested in see how it performs. Am I slow? Maybe, but at least I know you're even slower. That's what I said back to him. Because I'm sure most of you know by now that I'm a very frank person, and if I don't care about your opinion, I'll tell you that I don't care. Might seem rude, but that's what I do. So that's why I told him. Okay, simple as that. So his next one, or his comment back to me, was, did you read what you sent me before you sent it? You do not care about how valid the information was? Then that would make you a closed-minded, repugnant human being. I couldn't care less about this digital gun. I came to inform. If you outright do not care that you are getting ripped off, then you are a major issue to why dirty sales tactics continue to be used. So not only am I slow, and not only do I know how to use my money correctly, but also I'm a closed-minded, repugnant human being, and I am a victim of dirty sales tactics. Okay. And what did I say to him? I told him, I don't know how seriously to take this comment from someone who is trying to impose their belief of the world onto someone else. Sure, I know Nexon's a shitty company, but that doesn't stop me from supporting a game that I enjoy playing. Go ahead and be a martyr then, Mr. Saint. I'll be content watching from the sidelines. At least you're not being ripped off, right? And guess what he sends me? One word. Idiot. So I'm a slow... I forget how many things there were. I'm a slow, closed-minded, repugnant human being who doesn't know how to spend his money correctly, and I'm a victim of dirty sales tactics, and I'm an idiot. The point of this video is to show you that while it may, people may have good intentions, like this guy is clearly trying to tell me that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't pay for overpriced crap that aren't even tangible. You can't even touch them. They're just virtual. They're just related to a game that you you pay for and there's no return. And he's right. He is in by no means, at least from what I can see, he is by no means incorrect. He is not incorrect. His arguments are valid and they're legit. I agree with what he has to say that Nexon, not a great company, and the way that they price their items is also pretty garbage. I agree. You know, it adds up over time. The thing he fails to realize is that human beings are all different. His perspective of Nexon's marketing strategy, quote unquote, is much different from mine. Even if we have the same basis of our argument, our end perceptions are much different, clearly. He thinks that you shouldn't, because of this, you shouldn't buy this. Whereas me on the other side of the spectrum am saying, yeah, despite this, I still buy this. Because you know why? I enjoy this game. There's a couple things, actually. First of all, I enjoy Combat Arms, so I'm going to support it by buying their items. Okay? There is no argument against that. If you have a problem with someone enjoying what they do, as long as it's not something like extremely creepy or something like, you know, detrimental to other people's health, then you shouldn't have a problem with someone enjoying something. I don't have a problem if someone enjoys playing their saxophone. I don't have a problem with someone who enjoys taking a midnight walk. They can do that. So, why is it that you need to feel that you need to have a problem with me enjoying a game to the point where I want to support it by buying it, whatever in-game, you know, microtransactions there may be? Why do you have a problem with that? Because it supports a shitty company? Deal with it, motherfucker. The second one is that he fails to realize that my channel is entirely based on reviews. Maybe he didn't know this. Maybe the Micro User review video was the only video he saw. Okay? Because my Micro User review video, if you guys don't know, was featured on the weekly briefing of Combat Arms' weekly briefing thing on their main page. I think it was for last week's. So maybe he saw it from there. And for that, maybe I don't know everything. So maybe he came from that, or maybe he is aware that my channel is based on Combat Arms reviews. But he should have seen that. He should have seen that my channel is very big on Combat Arms reviews. Maybe if he knew that, maybe he wouldn't make this argument. Because maybe he could see that this is what I do, you know? This is what my channel is based on. And this is clearly what I like to do. So, maybe if he knew that, maybe he would have, you know, maybe this course of dialogue maybe would have gone a little bit differently. But he should have seen that. And if he didn't, well, he better damn well know by now that this is kind of what I do. This is my thing. And if he has a problem with me trying to do my thing, I don't know what to say. I guess he can keep hating, cause I mean we all have our haters, right? So let him be one of those, you know, pieces of trash. Let him hate. And finally, it kind of ties in with my previous one about, you know, me doing my thing, like I'm a whole YouTube thing, so, or kind of like a whole Combat Arms review thing. So it kind of ties in with that. Lastly, I don't give a shit about your opinion unless you can legitimately convince me to see otherwise. I will stick by my opinion. I'm a very headstrong person. That you can take that in a very negative way or in a very positive way. I don't care. I'm a very headstrong person. I believe deeply in what I have to say. Okay? So if you want to try to convince me, you better have a damn good argument. This guy is only telling me what I already know. So he's not convincing me anything. He's not convincing me to see anything differently. I already know Nexon's a bad company. I already know that, yeah, some of these things are maybe very overpriced. And yes, I do know that, you know, there are times that I am a very closed-minded, repugnant human being. Let's not forget that. But you know, he kind of went at this a little bit at the wrong angle, so to speak. He didn't convince me of anything. All he said was, or all he did was reconfirm what I already knew. That's not really a good way to go about, trying to convince people of things. Of course, he had no idea of the fact that I already agreed with what he had to say, but it was clear in our little course of dialogue that he wasn't acknowledging my acknowledgement of his arguments. He's just trying to get me to agree with him. And I'm not gonna do that. Because even though I know that his arguments are valid, my perception of this entire situation is much different. Both circumstantially and opinion-wise. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a common arts YouTuber. I like to do reviews, so I'm gonna buy these things. If you don't want to buy these things, don't buy it. If you don't want to support Nexon, don't buy it. And for the record, you shouldn't tell people not to do things unless, you really want to convince them. And sure, yeah, maybe this guy really wants to tell people that, this is a bad idea. You shouldn't buy these things. Maybe he has a legit point. But for one, he got kind of unlucky. He's talking to the wrong person. He shouldn't be talking to me, a reviewer. Instead, he should be talking to you, the consumers. The people who are gonna follow in my footsteps and buy these things. Because if I give a good review, then maybe you're more inclined to buy this. He should be talking to you guys, not me. Because what is he gonna do about me? He can't change my opinion. I'm gonna keep buying these things, whether he likes it or not. Right. So I hope I made my point. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. I don't know how long I've been recording. Yeah, 20 minutes. Holy fucking crap. I can't imagine anyone watching this far. If you have, then thank you. I wouldn't know why anyone would want to see my oily fucking hair for 20 minutes, but hey, that's your choice, right? So thank you for watching. And if you'll excuse me, I gotta go make videos. So I hope that I don't have to do this again, because usually I can deal with people like this on my own and not have to make a video about it, make a fuss about it. But I decided that, at least once, it might be a good idea to do these kind of things so that I tell you, or I explain to you why I do what I do and how I deal with haters. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and if you'll excuse me, like I said, I gotta go make videos and more reviews. Bye. Oh, by the way, they're selling the M416 CQB camo for 10% off for permanent. Well, you know what I'm buying. You could have today.